So welcome to the latest Waiter Wallet video. Today we're going to be talking about product knowledge. And I'm not talking about like if there's pine nuts in your fettuccine Alfredo, but about unique products that can enhance the guest experience, enhance your tips and your sales. And the reason we're sitting here, we're in Boulder, Colorado, one of my favorite bars with one of my favorite bartenders, Riskin, who created such an experience for me and it inspired this video. One night I was sitting here, didn't know what I wanted to drink. I was just completely undecided. And I asked Riskin for his suggestion. And he recommended chartreuse, which is what you see here right now. And I had never heard of chartreuse before. And I was incredibly intrigued after Riskin's really articulate, knowledgeable presentation of the product. So much so that it created this amazing experience that I remember to this day. It just wasn't another night out having a drink or dinner, but it was memorable. And I actually went out and got a bottle and keep it in my bar at home now. And it's something that I love to enjoy every now and then. And that's something you can bring to your guests by learning about a unique product, something that they may not typically order, and having some really in-depth knowledge over that product. Hopefully it's an interesting product like chartreuse, which we're going to talk about now. And then you can create that. And then obviously the most important thing is that it tastes great. So Riskin, tell me about how you know so much about chartreuse and why you recommended it. Like it was an awesome experience.
Sure, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, chartreuse is one of the most fascinating spirits to me. In general, liqueurs, as it were. It's got an interesting history. The history that we know of dates back over 500 years at this point, to when the recipe was first established in 1605 and brought to these monks. And it took them about 125 years in order to actually translate the recipe, figure out the balance between the ingredients, and get it to the product that we see today. The history dates back to fables over 1,000 years ago, and it's just really captivating. It's got 130 herbs and spices in there, and when I think about apothecary owners and trying to stay healthy before we had traditional doctors or modern doctors rather, these were the sorts of people that we would go to when we had a stomach ache or a broken arm or any ailment. And with that many spices and herbs in there, I just I think about health and I think about the world and everything in that way.
So you say monks. Mm-hmm. So a little bit about that. So this is made by monks. Where what's their story? And this was like an actual remedy before medicine was evolved?
Yeah. So it's made by Carthusian monks in the
French?
In French.
Okay.
In Grenoble, or outside Grenoble in France. Carthusian monks live in the Chartreuse Mountains, which is where their monastery name comes from. And they've been doing it since they got the recipe in 1605. It took them about 125 years to translate everything, and then they've been making it ever since. You've got green and yellow chartreuse. They've had other versions in the past, but these are the two that have stuck around the longest. Traditionally aged 6 months, although the VEP ones in the darker bottles are aged 2 years, which kind of mellows it out, adds a little bit more depth and complexity to it, a little bit more vanillins, but still has that amazing heat, spice, aroma, flavor, everything there.
And you said that the actual color chartreuse comes from chartreuse. The color of this beautiful product became the actual color chartreuse.
Yeah, pretty incredible, right? It was the late 1800s that happened, so they had already been making their product for 120, 150 years at that point. And I don't know exactly how it caught on, but whenever you hear the color chartreuse, this is the color.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, let me ask, what does a pour of chartreuse cost in all its variations?
That's a great question. So here at the kitchen, we're going to pour 1.5 ounces for, I believe, $12, and then $20 for the VEPs. When you go out to buy them at a store, you're looking at probably around $60 to $90 for the regular and around $150 to $200 for the VEPs.
Right. The reason I bring that up is, and this is sort of mostly an after dinner type of. It could be any time, but I always recommending an aperitif, something after dinner, because rather than selling a coffee that's $2, you're selling something that's $12. So your guest check average goes up. And what happens if one person at the table orders it? It usually inspires everyone else to say, you know what, let me try that too. So now there are 4 people at the table. My math is not great, but that's $48, I believe,
That definitely
right?
adds up, yeah.
So, $48, 20% of that. And then I believe that if you're introducing something and they have a great experience, not only are you going to get an increased guest check average, but they're going to tip you more because you've created this experience for them. So, simple steps. Find something you love. Go Google it. Find out, about that product. It doesn't have to be liquor. It can be a food product. It could be anything. Become an expert on that one product. Find different ways to prepare or serve that drink. So there's cocktails with chartreuse. I like to mix it with some whiskey sometimes. And you said there's a recipe with chartreuse, whiskey, and
Vermouth.
Vermouth
is the third ingredient. Yep. There's the last word cocktail, which I don't know if you're familiar with that one at all. It's going to be green chartreuse, maraschino cherry liqueur, lime juice. Actually, I'm blanking. What's the 4th ingredient?
I'll look it up. But there's a 4th ingredient.
There's a 4th ingredient.
But have some cocktails. So not only, which this is beautiful by itself and just neat, awesome, and we're going to taste it, and you're not going to be able to enjoy that. But it just has this hibiscus. Is that hibiscus?
Herbaceous.
Herbaceous.
Yeah.
Flavor to it, and it's just a wonderful thing. So the yellow and the green, what are the differences between the two?
So the differences, there are slight alcohol by volume differences, but mostly it's going to be in the flavor and the aroma. The yellow is going to be a little bit lighter and more sessionable, and so you're thinking more. I get a lot of floral and honey notes to it, versus the green, which is a lot more of that herbal, botanical, like rooty and earthy kind of quality to it. So this one's a little bit darker, a little bit higher in acidity as well, I believe. But yeah, both very bright, both very flavorful, incredible depths. Same recipe, 130 ingredients. This one's just going to have a little bit
From the aging.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
And the honey.
And like we said, just Google some research, become an expert, find some recipes that you can suggest with that, and then as you develop this sort of library of specialties that you're knowledgeable about, and once you get one, you get another, or you can use the Waiter Wallet to put these things at your fingertips. So you have a few tricks up your sleeve that are at your fingertips if memory is like mine and not too good. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and good luck serving. Make some money.
Make some money.
Thanks.